we have our very first live person here in the flesh on our morning show.
In the fleshy flesh.
Say the thing.
Good morning from the in-between.
There we go! Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of our lovely little morning show.
Today, we have our first artist spotlight video. We are joined by...
Kayla Ruiz.
Kayla Ruiz. What do you do?
Yeah, Kayla, tell us, what do you do with your time on this planet?
I'm a professional lawyer. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, wrong show for that.
No, so I photograph intimate portraiture. I specialize in men and couples.
Sweet. So, where are you based?
Virginia Beach.
So, we wanted to take this opportunity to highlight local artists in the area. Even though you're in Virginia Beach, you are Joe's sister. So
Right.
that's where the connection came in,
Right.
and we got you on the show.
Right.
Are you excited to be here?
I'm pumped.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
We're all pumped. We're all
Yeah.
pumped to be in the same vicinity, all three
You know
of us.
I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time.
We love hanging out with you.
And then we have a little fun shindig at the end. So
Yeah, we're gonna take some
the photos.
Right, yeah. I was like,
Yeah, here we go.
concerned.
Okay, here we go. So Kayla, you are a photographer from Virginia Beach. So what made you jump into this specific type of portraiture photography over anything else?
So I've been a photographer since 2012 professionally, and I've pretty much done it all. Kids, families, kids' birthdays, everything you can imagine, weddings. I won one of the best wedding photographers of 2019, and then after that, in 2019 I got my studio, which was like a huge goal of mine. And once I got my studio, I don't know, my creativity just kind of like shifted. Because I had a different space and I had privacy and I had a space to create in. So instead of having to go out to, venues and stuff, I had my own space that I could do whatever I wanted in. So I had a list of things I wanted to, like concepts I've always wanted to shoot. And so I was able to do so in my space. And it just kind of escalated from there. I like dipped my toes into something a little bit more intimate. And yeah, it just moved on from there. I kind of fell in love with it. It became my thing. And here we are. Yeah. Yeah. And in 2020, I, really like delved into that only. So I cut off all other aspects of my photography. I still do weddings, but I do more elopements, micro weddings, more intimate weddings. Yeah, cool. I don't really do the big ones anymore. I'm very picky on what weddings I do take every year, but I still do weddings because they are fun and I do enjoy them. But yeah, so connecting with couples, all kinds of couples with all kinds of body types, I felt like as a queer photographer who is masculine presenting, there aren't a lot of people who look like me in my career. So being able to be at the forefront of that and being able to shed light to people who look like me, but also all other body types was super important to me. So that's why I specialize in making sure that my feed is as diverse as possible. So people can come there and see somebody in one of my sets that looks like them. And in 2020, of course, during a pandemic, I went viral 3 times in a row for my stranger sessions.
Stranger sessions. Let's talk a little about those. Those steamy little, lovely little things.
Yeah. So that's my baby. Basically, I take 2 individuals and I try to matchmake them. And in the process, I'm I talk to both of them, and I've done different experiments on how I get them to kind of connect before the session. Sometimes I don't let them connect at all, depending on how I feel the session should go. And
you're designing the vibe.
Yeah. It's very hard, and super vulnerable for them. Right. I mean, they don't know what they're coming into. They don't know what the person looks like. They don't know.
Can we talk for a moment about how you create a space where people can be vulnerable and where you can support them if they're feeling maybe like a little overwhelmed by the situation?
Yeah. So I'll just walk you through what a session with me is like. So basically, just yesterday I was in Philly, right? My client comes in. She is full of anxious, nervous energy. It's a blessing and a curse, but I'm an empath, so I can feel that. So immediately I feel her nervousness. So what I do is I sit down with them. We'll sit sometimes an hour and a half, which is why I only try to do one session a day, because I want to be able to connect with them and them feel comfortable. So I sit with them. And so I sat with her on the couch, and we talked for about an hour and a half about everything, about why she was doing the session, about how she was feeling about it, about my life, because when I connect with them, because I want my sessions to feel like hangouts, so I want people to come in and just feel like they're hanging out with a friend, which in the end we always leave. We always leave friends when they leave, you know what I mean? So that's like pretty dope. So yeah, she came in and we talked, and about an hour and a half goes by, and then I could feel that she's ready, and I started shooting and doing my thing. And the way that I shoot is we talk and we shoot and we talk and we shoot. Again, so it's not stark. You're not walking into a place and you're feeling like weird because the camera's on you, but the person's not interacting with you. And, and I've had clients come to me and tell me that they've had experiences like that, which I think is terrible. But I'm all self-taught. I've never really even been to a photographer myself. Everything I shoot of myself is all self-portraits. So, I feel bad when they do come in and tell me that they've had a bad experience, so I try to rectify that with what I give them.
Unlearn what you've learned and learn the Kayla way.
Yeah. So, we ended up shooting, and I hyped them up the whole time, because I'm so proud of them for like being vulnerable with me. And I ended up shooting this one photo, and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing in this. Can I show it to you? So I showed her the back of my camera, and she cried. And that always hits me right in the chest. So I had to put my camera down, and I held her in my arms for a minute, just for like 2 minutes. And she cried, and then she separated with me, and she's like, I've never liked myself in a photo before.
Damn.
And so that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, the power you have by showing people their inner beauty is like, it's incredible. It's an incredible achievement.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But
That's like also what's interesting is the dynamic that you have to create with the clients, one, but then also with like Stranger Sundays, you have to create an environment for two strangers. But then it's also like if you're doing a couple, you have to make them feel comfortable in front of you, because obviously they're most likely comfortable with them like in a more intimate setting. But then there's also like solo portraiture, and I assume there's like a bunch of different approaches for each different scenario.
Like it's definitely different for men than it is for women. It's different for my LGBT people than it is for anybody else. It's different for my fat-bodied people from another person. It's different for every single person, depending on what they're struggling with for their own self-love. So
it's more so about the environment you create, not just during but before a lot, and then
after, actually, like because they're really anxious
what they're gonna look like.
They're nervous to see what so I have a little bit of a turnaround time because I am very busy, but once they do get them, I let them know that I sent them. They get a nice gallery. I've gone through and I've hand edit every single image, which is why it takes me a little bit, because I make sure that every image is perfect for them. And I've gotten emails back of people telling me that they've looked through the gallery like 6 times and can't have a new favorite every time, and so that's always like a plus.
So that must feel awesome, making the client feel good. But then in addition to that, haven't you also received, like you mentioned before, some accolades over the years? Not to mention being published on like books.
And
why not? Come on, that's pretty sick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How's something like that feel and like come about?
So when I went viral, a lot of authors started following me, like smut authors and like stuff like that, which I love because I'm very body positive and I'm very sex positive. So, obviously for what I do for a living. So. I love that. I love that they follow me, whatever. Well, this one author this year, or 2 authors this year, reached out, and they're both like on the New York Times bestselling list, USA Today bestselling list, like, and I've sold to like independent authors and stuff and stuff like that before in the past years, but this is my first time selling to like an author, like authors people know, like really know.
Right.
So yeah, she one of them reached out. She's writing a trilogy. She bought 3 different images from me. Those won't come back. Those will be out later this year.
So Are those images of people that you took like not related to this sort
Most
of situation?
of the time, they are my stranger sessions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
So-
how do you go about telling these people that were in your stranger sessions?
In order to participate in my stranger session, you have to sign a model release.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I tell them like, hey, one of your images got picked up, and most of the time they're fucking stoked.
Yeah, I would be stoked.
Yeah. So.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing most of this out of Virginia Beach, but you're
Yeah.
also traveling to
I
people.
travel all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, you were just in Philly.
Yeah.
But you've also went.
Last year was crazy. I did pretty much a city a month last year.
That's so awesome.
Do you go outside the
I
US
was
too?
tired. I haven't gone outside of the U.S. yet.
Is that something that you're planning on
Yeah,
doing?
I have fans in South Africa. I have a huge fan base in Australia, which is crazy. What else? Where else? Spain. I just got a message from Spain. France, London. Yeah, I just got to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at first I wanted to do just kind of U.S. first for my first little tour, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, once I figure it out, more logistics and stuff, because that's more expensive. That's a lot more into, you know, I drove to a lot of the places I went to, or I flew, and it's not as expensive, but we're getting into expensive territory if I'm going overseas, so got to make sure I have my ducks in a row.
Cool. But it's cool because a lot of stuff you do isn't so conventional. It's not, I mean, I've seen like a lot of your stuff before, which is just like a studio space, like whether it be like whatever color, like Bastrop or whatever, but I know you also like to dip into different environments, locations. So like, do people have a particular location in mind wherever you're going? Like, cause I know you've had like bathtub portraiture, which comes out so sick, and a lot of different themes, like you had a Christmas one. So you're really not just like, I don't know, you're building out, it's again, like the environment, like that we were talking about before, and making people feel comfortable. But it's like, do people also have like different locations that they like, that they want to get photographed in?
Like, like in general?
Do you have your own, like if like you would travel somewhere?
Yeah, there are some people who say like, come to my house, which, I mean, I'm always down for. Yeah, and it's usually really easy for me because that's usually the place they feel comfortable in already. So I'm coming into that, you know.
That,
yeah. So I have shot in people's homes before, but when I travel, I usually get like a sick Airbnb that I can shoot in, and they come to me most of the time.
Dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, what exactly do you feel is on the horizon for you? Like, what is it that you're striving for beyond what you're doing right now?
I don't know if I'm striving towards anything anymore. Wow. I kind of think I'm just riding the wave. You know, when you're a little girl and, you know, you get your first camera and, you know, you're told that it's a hobby and not a job. And so you're like, you know, not sure like where you fit. You know,
hey, welcome. All right, we have fun here.
But yeah, so when you're not sure where you fit, I built a life for myself from nothing. Yeah, from literally nothing. You know, I have the support of everybody now because I've made it.
You proved
or whatever.
yourself. Yeah.
But right now, I'm just kind of enjoying where I am in life. I am going to start this year. I am starting to teach, which is very scary.
That's awesome.
Very scary. I have my first workshop. I called it Kayla Ruiz's workshop thing, and it's at the end of this month. I'm very nervous, but it's gonna be fun. I hope. I only sold like 6 seats to keep it real small.
Yeah.
For my first one. So
I mean, intimacy is your whole thing. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I have a Patreon that I just started at the end of the last year. That's where I'm going to start posting my more uncensored work. I think I might start posting my stranger sessions in there only, not for everyone
to make them
see.
Incredibly exclusive.
Yeah, because I mean it's like free entertainment for people right now. But there's portraits that I take that are so. Just beautiful and intimate, and you can see the connection of the couple forming, and I just feel like I might put them on those ones on my Patreon so that people can, I don't know, just really enjoy it in a different way. I just feel like the people who really want to enjoy it will, you know.
Right.
And I get a lot of hate sometimes.
We don't give those people any mind. We don't give those people any mind, especially not here where loveliness is our number one point.
Loveliness.
Loveliness. That's what we do here. That is what we encompass. Everything within is loveliness, and that's why you're here, because you're an incredibly lovely person.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Nah, that was the first time we ever had a real high five on this whole show. Right here. Come on.
Nah.
Your fingers are
It's so
freezing.
cold. So, in line with teaching, what exactly would you say, not just to photographers in general, but people who want to embark on that creative path and make it their life's work? What would you say to those people that are looking to take that step to make it into that new world where their creative passions are the things upholding their life?
Yeah, you just gotta do it. That's like the only thing I can say is like it. The starving artist thing is a thing for sure, and that's where I was too when I started. But I also started to not. Am I allowed to curse?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay. I also started to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's when my career took off. When I stopped caring about what everybody around me was saying. When I started to shoot what I wanted to shoot. I also started to shoot for myself, which was super important. Like, shooting for myself is, like, the biggest thing I can tell any aspiring photographer is it's so important to fill your cup.
Not even just a photographer.
I mean, yeah, anybody creative for sure. But I just feel like you need to, like, do things for yourself first. Once you shoot for yourself, once you're creating for yourself, everybody else will come.
Right. Because you're number one, baby. Right. You're always going to be number one.
Self-love 2023 is what we doing.
I love it. But you started shooting what year?
2012.
Dang.
Yeah.
Coming up on 10 plus years.
Oh yeah, March will make 11.
That's wild. So.
You even used to shoot newborns.
Yeah, I did.
I did everything.
You did everything.
Crazy.
Damn.
Well, I feel like it's important for every photographer starting out to do everything, to know.
Dip your toes.
Well, you need to know what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to know
exactly.
if you don't try. Like, I've had people who never did newborn before, and then they started and then they fell in love with it. So it's just like...
Try it all.
So your classes, are you teaching the same kind of portraiture you do, or photography in general?
So they're going to come, and they're going to see me, and I'm going to have 3 couples, and they're all different types of couples. So one couple is part of the LGBT community. One couple is an interracial couple, and she's plus size. And then one couple is my best friends Tony and Jamie, the super tattooed couple that you see on my feed. Yeah, I'm gonna finish with them.
Nice.
And yeah, so they're gonna shoot. The way I like to teach, and I've only taught once, but the way it went was I pretty much would explain why I'm shooting, how I'm shooting, or what I'm shooting. And then they would shoot alongside me, and I felt like that was like because that's how I learn best, is if I'm doing, not just talking about it. So, yeah, that's what I'm literally they're gonna shoot every single set right alongside me, and
that's dope.
Just learn from me by watching me essentially and asking questions as we're going and stuff. So.
Well, we're gonna watch you be a master of your craft in a couple seconds here, because we're gonna get a little started on our own little shoot. So I'm very excited to see the master at work.
Where will you find those pictures?
All the pictures we're about to take with the almighty masterful Kayla will be posted across our socials, and you can find all of Kayla's work linked below. Hopefully, I covered everything. Man, do we look hot, thanks to you.
I love the intimacy was real. I felt so comfortable
and vulnerable.
And
you didn't even have to take your shirt off.
You're right. You're so right.
Kayla is amazing at what she does. Please be sure to check out all of her work and follow along with everything she's doing, because she's taking on the world in 2023, and
we're right alongside her, and we're gonna have a lovely time lifting each other up and doing beautiful things together. Because
and Mike will be in the next Stranger Session.
Oh.
And Mike will be in the next Stranger Session, so look out for that one. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We love you as always.
We have a good time.
Yeah, we do. We love you all. Goodbye now.